I think, I know I might have a lot of adjectives for you, Mike, but what is your forte? If you had to say, this is what sets Mike Karp from other headhunters, other companies who are doing, I'm sure if you do a SWOT analysis, you'll have a lot of competitors doing exactly what Options Group is doing. It's a big world. My question is, what is Mike Karp's forte? What sets you apart?
So look, I'm a very ambitious guy, okay? Ambition is something that drives me even till today, and when I get focused, I'm all in, and, I go get stuff done, so we might be called a lot of adjectives, as you've said, people call us very aggressive, but, we deliver.
You deliver.
So that's our DNA, so, we like to deliver, and we don't like to fail, and when we get, tough assignments. So I love taking challenges on, and especially in the search business. It looks pretty glamorous from the outside because you can have breakfast in one city and then fly and have lunch in another city, and then you can have dinner somewhere else. You know what I'm saying, right? And be out and keep doing it 7 days a week if you want to. And by the way, I've made my best friends in this, and some of them very well.
Yeah.
I've made my best friends in this business and in my life through this business. And I cold called some of them. We traveled together. We've known each other for 3 decades. These are the guys that I cold called in '92, '93, '94. And they used to laugh at me because, as you said earlier, that they would give me their home number. And they would be like, "Your name is not really Michael Karp. What's your real name?"
What's your real name?
You have an Indian accent, And then I
correct.
A friend of mine said to me, he goes, back in the day it was a trend on calling yourself Mike and all that stuff. He goes, now the trend is to call yourself an Indian name or one of the names. Exactly. So he goes, I'll put a Wall Street Journal article together, to sort of tell them that your real name is Ashish. But we deviate the names like Dilip Kumar. You know what I'm saying, right? If you remember, a lot of stage names that exist.
A lot of stage names. His real name was Yusuf Khan.
Yusuf Khan, exactly. So I took the cue from him as well. You know what I'm saying, right?
And it worked for you.
And it worked for me
because Ashish was very unheard of during those times. When you had to call somebody, you have that initial 5 seconds before somebody hangs up on you.
Exactly.
I've done cold calling. I've worked for JP Morgan, so I know how cold calling is trying to sell something over the phone.
Exactly.
It's not easy, especially if you have a thick accent. It's
not easy.
It's a stumbling block.
And look, and this new generation, right? They're not used to cold calling. They're in social media, right? My partner in London was telling me a story the other day that his daughter, who's 13 years old, was in her room and she had 5 friends, in the room with her. And none of them was talking. And he goes, I opened the door and said, what's going on? Why are you guys not doing anything? They're like, we are. We're all talking on the phone. It's like they're all sitting together, but they're talking on the phone. You know what I'm saying, right?
Life, man.
So it's in our world where we are from, we were out playing, we were out doing different things, and that's what I keep.
We never had phones, buddy.
Exactly.
We never had. I used to have a small little pager back in the days. The pager days.
And now the phone is everything, right? You can't live without it. And look, I tell all my younger and my staff, about 50% of it is under 30 years old.
I wanted to ask you that. That's a very important question, and a very important question for the audiences also. Mike, what do you see in a person when you hire somebody? Do you see his academics or do you see his talent? How do you hire somebody?
Look, first we like to hire people that are hungry,
okay,
that are motivated, okay, that actually have a need to make money, okay,
nice.
And that want to learn something, that are fast, quick learners, in terms of the business.
They don't have to be Harvard graduates.
They don't have to be Harvard graduates.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. They don't have to be Ivy League students. There are many colleges in America that are B colleges that a lot of great talent comes out of. So you find diamond in the rough. You know what I'm saying, right?
And you must have found a lot of.
So look, we have an internship program.
The OG University.
The OG University that you read about. Where we bring young kids in. We globally this year we had a class of about 45 people, worldwide, and we were paying them. It wasn't a free internship, to come in and work with us. And we've hired about 15-20% of the class every year. So my under 30-year-old kids, and I keep telling them, I'm like, listen, do not hit these guys up on LinkedIn, okay? When you hit them up,
that was one more beautiful chapter I was going to open up, but go ahead. We'll circle back to LinkedIn because This is a completely
because some of these things have changed.
Yes, the whole business
the
has
whole
changed.
business has changed.
With LinkedIn.
with LinkedIn and all this different different social media sites that are out there.
Correct.
So
You look them up on Facebook, Instagram, try to connect them.
TikTok, this, that.
And guessing emails these days, man. First word, first name, dot last name, first name, followed by the company domain. It's like easy
It's
to,
easy.
you'll get a bounce back.
Exactly.
Send 6 emails.
Yeah.
Just sahi gaya. You get one
That's it.
going through,
That's
and the
it.
others will bounce back, and this one is it.
Exactly. And then I tell them, I'm like, listen, once you hit somebody, ask them out for a coffee.
So you
Okay.
tell them not to do LinkedIn and not to
No,
do
I
random-
say once you make the initial contact, don't keep communicating via text. Call them up and say, hey, my number is this. How you doing? We should meet up for a coffee. We should get to know each other.
Beautiful.
So one other guy of mine, told me the story the other day. Okay, he hired this girl, Indian girl, that works for him in my office.
Okay.
And he goes, look, I told her go learn how to play poker because he wants her to be in poker games with all these young Indian, Chinese, bright students.
I see.
From all these big hedge funds, from Jane Street, from Jump, from there's so many different kind of firms out there,
Especially in New York.
In
we've
New
got
York, all the electronic trading firms that are out there, I mean, there's a plethora of firms that are out there, and all these young kids, there's still plenty of Indian kids that have H-1B visas and all this stuff
They do,
that
yeah.
are 24, 25, and those compensation ranges have moved up.
Okay.
So now she's in those games, she's playing with them, she's building relationships.
What a strategy.
She's not just hitting them up on LinkedIn
What
and saying,
strategy.
send me a resume and I'll be a resume jockey and I'll send them to 10 companies and see if I get one hit.
Now, can I ask you something on that note? Mike, what's your strategy? How do you cross paths with CEOs? Because I know you deal with C-level executives and you don't deal with, consultants anymore. Your range of recruitment and your range of clientele is completely different per se as per yourself. How do you connect with these big guys?
So look, first, I've grown up with a lot of these guys, so I've known them, for 30 years.
Please give us some names, man.
So without mentioning, the latest new CEO of the best, investment bank that exists out there, Morgan Stanley.
Morgan Stanley, yes.
I just sent him an email as a congratulatory email, and he knows that I recruit a lot of people out of there, and he emailed me back, right away, what I'm saying, right? So that, he knows who I am, because he knows, I recruit out of there, out of that firm, So
when you say you recruit out of that firm, was that response due to fear that he doesn't take my talent away?
I don't know, could be, I mean, I hope not, what I'm saying, right? I hope it's respectful,
It's
because
business.
in our business, you can't be friends with everyone.
Absolutely, it's business.
It's a retainer,
You're getting them a better deal.
Exactly.
You're getting them a better.
It's like a law firm, So
yeah.
when you were, one law firm,
Yeah.
you're competing against other law firm. You know how the
If I'm
business
at
works,
Morgan Stanley making 500K, if Michael Karp calls me and says I'm going to get you 900K, you think I'm going to care for my CEO?
You're gonna take that call.
Exactly, exactly.
But that's not what I always lead on with, Monty. Okay, money is not everything in life.
Okay.
I want to tell the audience this. Okay,
Sure,
money is great. It moves you up and stuff. But when you change a job, I think it's one of the toughest things to do. Next to sort of having your kids and setting your house, and having death, in your family or with your closer ones. Okay, because jobs are very important for people, okay? So I don't just take this and I don't just pitch them for money anymore. That was my early on strategy, and I've told every single person in my firm, our DNA has evolved, right? And it's about finding the right stress point on a person, okay? Because some people like the work-life balance, okay? Some people like the mental health balance with
Very
their
true.
the mental state, how it is now for the last 4 or 5 years,
Yes,
so
sir.
you have to know these people's stress points, right? Money is one. Okay, then it's the mandate. It's are they bored in their job doing the same stuff?
Okay.
Have they not been made MD and they've been slogging for it for a very long time at senior levels? Have they been promoted or they have not been promoted?
Wow.
Okay, moving them from a sell side job to a buy side job because they want a career change.
Correct. Lines of businesses.
Lines
maybe
of businesses
from
change.
Retail to private banking,
Exactly.
or maybe to
or from investment banking to exactly. From
Correct.
fixed income to investment banking.
Yes, that's an upgrade.
That's
you
an
might take a
upgrade.
cut on the salary, but look at your status.
And you progress in your positions, So there are different stress points that you have to sort of know, and the only way to know that is when you get to know the individual.
This is an eye opener, Mike.
Okay, so that's what I tell people to be, always, in front of your clients, and make relationships with these people, so that they can open up to you. And just don't lead on with, there are many people that obviously will jump if their salaries get doubled.
Correct.
Because you know how it is, worldwide.
Depending on what age of
What
life
age group-
or what stage of life you're
Exactly.
in. Just the way you said, if somebody is burnt out and if he wants to spend some more time with family, you're right, he's going to go with something that, makes him look good in front of society. If I'm just a VP level and if Mike calls me and says, you're getting a CEO position, look at that, man. My business card changes.
And look, in the one of the stress point that that I think you've seen the trend as well now. A lot of people want to move within America. They want to go from New York to Miami.
Correct.
Austin. Dallas.
Dallas, yeah.
The different places that your show is. All over America and Canada. People want to sort of transit. Out
From
right?
SFO to Dallas, I've seen a lot of migration
Exactly.
from
Some
SFO.
SFO to Dallas or to Austin or to other parts of the country. You know what I'm saying, right? A lot of people want to go to Boston. So our firm sort of listens and we provide that service. And we see what we can do as best as we can. We don't have a magic wand to make everybody successful and happy, but we try our best.
You try your best and you're doing phenomenal, you're doing great. And something that I wanted to touch with you is the way you do business, and something that we spoke even before that, we'll highlight that with the advent and the, such a wonderful magnetic site called LinkedIn, which has made the world, even the corporate world, so smaller, and it's easy to have connectivity. How does your firm operate? You said there's something that you would want to highlight and talk more about how your firm works, the tech side, the computer side, and something that's
So we have about 1 million people in a database. Over
Okay.
the last 30 years. My partner who passed away was a data freak.
That's your database,
That
Options
that
Group
Options Group
database.
database, okay? And our database has, high quality talent across the board, from, investment talent to banking talent to tech talent, so we build proprietary systems on top of the talent on our CRM. There's one thing we built called Quant Match, okay? So the Quant Match is like a funnel where, it goes out and it keeps every single recruiter, consultant in my office, busy, and it shoots them, ideas constantly that you have not called these 30 people,
Wow.
in like, 2 months. So pick up the
Excellent.
phone and call them because they're active, You
Excellent.
haven't called these, 8 clients, that, because you're so busy, with other stuff. So, call the clients. So, and my goal has been that every consultant that I have about, close to 175 producing consultants worldwide, I want them to be busy.
Cool.
I just don't want them to be twiddling their thumbs and waiting to think what's going to happen next.
Did you invest in this software?
We built it proprietary. It's a proprietary system. My tech team built it.
Excellent.
We have a tech team in the New York office. They're the ones that handle it. Both the data side of it and the whole IP is ours.
Which year was it implemented?
It's ongoing. It has been it's been going on for 30 years, but it's
It's
evolved.
been going on for 30 years and
Yeah,
keeps evolving.
It keeps evolving. Keeps evolving. You have to keep tweaking the system, and we have to keep it's the old model, right? Garbage in, garbage out. Right? So I make
Correct.
sure that
It's like the
people-
iPhone upgrade,
Yes, it's the consultants have to be tight in putting the data. We have KPIs around it. That's how we motivate people. Some of them get paid extra. If they're doing all the things right. Versus the others. From seniors down. So it's a very collaborative.
And you can track, and you
Yeah.
yourself can track
Yes.
who's doing what.
Look, my beauty is I'm still very hands-on, as you know. I'm very active with clients.
Buddy, you can pick up a call right now and recruit somebody.
Exactly. I always have things going on, and the one
Yes.
thing I'm blessed with, my memory is pretty good. So in this business, you need that.
I think more than your memory, I think your biggest blessing is your speech. That's, I think, your biggest forte, Mike. I think that's your biggest gift, the way you speak, the way you probably convince, and you know your trade. It is something, which I always wanted to ask you. I know you did mention your first call at Goldman's when you were an employee or maybe a consultant. What was your first call as Options Group, the first person if you remember that, you never forget your first baby.
The first position that I got at Options Group was it was a guy by the name of David Vole.
See, I told you you're going to remember it.
At Lehman Brothers.
Lehman Brothers.
And I placed a woman with him from IBM called Suparna Vedbrat. There was an Indian woman that I ran into at the Women's in Finance conference, last month. Okay, and you can check this out. She was the senior most person at BlackRock, an asset manager, the biggest asset manager in the world. So I had placed her from IBM into Lehman, and then from there she grew because she wanted to transit into Wall Street. So I brought her from a tech company in 1992 into the Wall Street company, and Lehman Brothers story. Lehman went under, and
yes,
all that
yes,
stuff.
Yes.
So I do remember all these things. These are like sort of look. I mean, this one guy I hired who still is with my firm. I hired him 27 years ago. He taught me this. I learned from every single person, as you know. That's one of my traits.
That is your
humility
that you like to acquire.
I like to learn every single day. I'm a student still. And this guy told me, he goes, Mike, in our business, you're as good as your last trade.
You're as good as your last trade.
And you're as good as your last
I
trade.
think, isn't that what Larry Flinch said?
Yeah.
I think he mentioned that quote as well.
I don't know if it was Larry or not, but he said that. He said that to me. He goes, "You're as good as your last trade." And then the other guy told me that the other day, one of my senior partners told me, he goes, "Mike, we want to be better than our last trade." You know what I'm saying, right? That's how you evolve.
Michael Bhai, I read this really, really amazing article, and I want to read it out verbatim. Time and again, India has proved itself to be the progenitor of some of the most brilliant minds across the globe. From tech geeks making their names heard across the Silicon Valley to tycoons who've had some of the most successful businesses, India and Indian blood has gone on to lead some of the most successful businesses and companies across the world. It's such a beautiful article by. I'm going to take some names of some CEOs who have South Asian descent. I just want something from you. What do you have to say about them? You're in the business. Maybe some of them might be your friends. Maybe some of them, you might have recruited them. So I don't know. Starting off with first, Sundar Pichai, CEO of Alphabet.
Very smart guy.
That's it? All right. Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft.
He's probably the best CEO of any company right now. He's a transformative, person. He transformed Microsoft.
There you
Buy
go.
that stock.
There you go. Buy that stock. Parag Agrawal, the brand new CEO of Twitter.
He is no longer the brand new CEO of Twitter. As you know, Elon Musk took over. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
At the wrong time. Lena Nair, CEO of Chanel.
One of the first ones in the world, in the fashion world. I think everybody knows what the brand is. So Chanel is Chanel.
And any of these, the names that I'm taking, have you met them or worked with them?
I have had contacts.
Excellent. Shantanu Narayan, CEO Adobe.
Great company. Don't know him personally, but I've seen him on TV. Smart. Everybody uses. Transformative.
Okay. Arvind Krishna, IBM.
Great guy.
Okay. Sanjay Mehrotra, Micron Technology.
Sanjay is like transformative as well. It's tech is what's moving the world. So that shows you, where Indians are.
Genius. Nikesh Arora, Palo Alto Networks.
Great guy. Was at Google before, as you know. Very smart.
Very smart. Jayashree Ullal, Arista Networks.
Don't know them.
All right. Amrapali Gan, OnlyFans.
Don't know them.
All right. Ajay Pal Singh, Banga.
Yeah.
MasterCard.
I mean, I know him. He's a great guy. He's a leader.
And last but
especially
not,
now what he's doing.
Especially he's like the executive CEO of the company. From St. Stephen's, IIT Management Alumni, and last but not least, our very own Indra Noy.
Fantastic lady.
Met her?
I've met her. She's great.
Irreplaceable.
She made what Pepsi is today.
But do you think?
And I have a lot of personal friends that have actually worked for her too, and they all speak very highly of her.
Yeah, but I feel everybody is indispensable. People do have CEOs and then somebody else replaces
So there are
them.
many that you've missed as well, right? Like
please, enlighten
Anshu
us.
Jain, who passed away,
Anshu
was
Jain.
the DB, CEO. He was fantastic.
And the Citibank, you
Vikram
mentioned
Pandit,
Vikram Pandit.
it was fantastic. The guy who runs Barclays now, Venkat, is Indian as well. So there are plenty, that are out there, and there are many smaller companies that we don't see. Who are Indian owned, and Indians have done extremely well for themselves all over the globe, and that's why I think it's going to beat China, in terms of the
Absolutely.
talent. And I think the talent pool in India is just, massive. And we both are sitting here in Mumbai. It just so happens that,
Mumbai,
we
celebrating
are,
options group Diwali party in Mumbai.
Actually, yes.
Yes.
That's why we are here. And you'll see, many of the clients that'll be here as well. So, just so happened that we both were in Mumbai at the same time. And, we got
happened to
the
meet.
opportunity. I
An
had the
honor.
opportunity with
And-
Monty,
An
so-
honor, yes sir, and my honor to meet you. But my show is also about Bollywood, so we'll
Sure,
end
sure.
on a very lighter note.
Sure,
I'm
sure.
sure that you must have loved Indian films, Jawan, Pathan,
Sure,
yeah,
sure,
all
sure.
the craziness that's going on. So I usually ask this question to all my guests here. Who is your most favorite actor, male, Bollywood and Hollywood, that you admire and derive inspiration from?
So in Hollywood, it has to be Tom Cruise.
Why?
He is a very versatile actor. And look, he's 60 plus years old and see how he looks.
There you go.
know
I
what
was
mean?
waiting for that. That
So-
energy. Man holds a time stone.
And then look, you know me, I'm an avid workout guy, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying, right? I do
yes.
a lot of, outdoor stuff and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I admire him a lot. And Bollywood actor, I've always loved Salman Khan, as you know.
Salman Bhai.
he's,
Just saw him last night at the Tips Diwali Bash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so he's been, a guy that, I followed for a long time, and, admire
And they
those
both
guys.
fit. And they both fit.
They both
you
are
know,
fit,
keeps
yeah.
you strong mentally and physically.
Yes.
Female actors from Bollywood and Hollywood that you inspire and look up to.
I think Meryl Streep is a great actress in,
Yes.
in the U.S.
Oh,
She's been around for a long time. So, I would love a career like hers,
Phenomenal.
in terms of the way she's, had her career. And then in the Bollywood scene, I think Deepika Padukone is a great actress.
She's
you know.
married. Ranveer,
Yeah.
Ranveer Singh's wife. Yeah.
She can, go from, glamour to, whatever, like very quick, right? So she's a great actress, right? I mean, and my wife actually loves her as well. And,
What's your wife's name?
My wife is, she's Latin, she's Puerto Rican, her name is Migna Guzman, So,
Meghna, wishing you all the very best. You have a great man, a great husband, a great leader, an amazing, amazing guy. Meghna?
Migna, yeah.
Meghna, pleasure meeting you. And the best movie that you've ever seen all time, Bollywood and Hollywood, that made you cry, made you laugh.
That's, you didn't give me time to think about it.
Bhai,
There's so many.
I'll tell you mine. This is
Look, I mean, I'll tell you, the one that I've always loved in Bollywood has been Sholay.
Sholay.
That was like my
Classic,
I've
bro.
probably watched it, 1,000 times in my lifetime.
Benchmark. For me, Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge.
And the other one I like in Bollywood is Amar Akbar Anthony as well.
Yes, makes you
So
laugh.
if anyone makes a remake of it, let me know. I think that movie should be remade.
That should be remade.
with different actors and stuff.
I think they might be remaking it.
And
as we
I've
speak.
shown that movie to a lot of different friends of mine, American and not, what I'm saying, right? And they
Yes.
all have been like,
Loved
it was a pretty good movie.
Glued to it. And Hollywood, your favorite movie you've ever seen in all times?
Wow, man.
Putting Michael Karp.
That's a rough
To
one.
think.
I got to think about that. That's a rough one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because I've seen
absolutely.
so many. It's Great Gatsby is a
You're
great movie,
you're a Tom Cruise fan, so it definitely has to be
So
something.
all the
that
Mission
will-
Impossible
all the Mission Impossible
are like fantastic.
so much
like,
of effort goes into it. Yeah.
and I forget the name of it. Where it was Show Me the Money when he was the agent. I forget the name of that movie.
Should be Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Oh damn! I blanked out myself.
Hold
But
on. Let's Google that movie.
let's
right?
Google that movie.
Yeah,
Show me the
let's
money.
Google
Yes,
it.
we are doing a Google search in the middle of an interview.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
loving this because, as you said, man,
Show me
challenges.
the money.
This man likes challenges. So if anybody challenges him, he'll prove them wrong.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
There you go. Finally, Google worked.
Yeah.
And your best director, right?
Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese, yeah,
he's a
man.
great actor. He's a great director.
Great director.
I mean, all the movies that he's made are fantastic. But like, look, I mean, I've been watching all the, the shows, especially the Indian shows on, Netflix and Amazon Prime. And some of
They're
these
great.
shows are
They're
like just
great.
fantastic.
They're
Like
great.
the new Indian directors and producers that are coming up with some of this stuff is fantastic. Some
Because
of
it
the-
was only the big names by that were getting an opportunity before,
Yeah.
but now with OTT, the world has opened up. There is so much of talent. People going to schools, people thinking out of the box,
Out
and
of the
they're
box.
getting a chance. They're getting a chance to imagine, to
Yeah.
reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And just the creative talent that's coming out, is great. And I'm actually I'm actually thinking about starting, an agency as well, for the talent business,
That's
in terms
beautiful.
of,
That's it.
finding talent,
That's
and a couple of friends of mine have broken away from the search business and have gone into the talent business as well.
talent business, like
So,
Hollywood.
entertainment.
Entertainment.
Yeah. It's
Excellent.
pretty similar business.
Very similar business.
Very similar business.
Very similar business,
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
And I know we've had a great opportunity to talk to you. Thank you so much for your insight, giving us an idea about how your industry works. And I want to, give you the frame now, because I have two very important questions that I want to ask you, and I want you to talk about this to our audience. One, what's the 5-year, 10-year plan for Options Group? Where you want to take Options Group to 2020, 2033? Where would we envision Options Group to be? And you rightly said maybe diversify to the talent business. And second, words of inspiration or words of wisdom for people who watching you have talent and want to get into the headhunting business.
Sure. So in the first question, like in 2023.
2033.
2033, 10 years from now, as I mentioned earlier, I would like the firm to be in various different practices and various different businesses. We would love to be a, $500 million, revenue company, or even more, beyond. But I'm a realist, so I always like to promise and over deliver. Okay, and people that want to join this business, this is a great business to be in. It has changed many, many lives out there, but it's very tough. It's not easy. It's, there's a lot of rejection. So if people that, cannot face rejection, this is not a great business for them. So, if you are fearless, this is a fantastic business, to be in. And I think, you'll be very successful in fulfilling your dreams. So I think that would be my, message
Your
to
closing,
your audience.
Your
And,
closing statement.
your closing
Absolutely,
statement,
absolutely. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of your favorite show, The Monty Khan Show. It was an honor and a pleasure to meet the CEO and co-founder of the Options Group, one of the most successful headhunting companies in the United States and the world. And I would like to sign off with a pleasure and a promise to be back with more interesting people as we are going into the Diwali party of the Options Group. So iske baad we'll meet some more interesting people, and most importantly that Mike has helped make their dreams come true. So stay tuned. In my next episode you'll have more fun. Keep watching The Monty Khan Show. Thank you, Mike.
Thank
Such
you.
a pleasure.
Thank you for
brother.
having me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.